Well, look, this obviously advertising is a very attractive business because it has 80% gross margins. And if you think about Amazon, the conversation around Amazon has increasingly moved towards advertising, which is now a $4 to $5 billion business. Again, very high margins. And that's all just happened in the last 2 years. And we're starting to see Apple do very analogous things to what Amazon does. So Apple's principal advertising foray today is in the App Store. So when you search for an app, ads pop up based on what you search for. And this is very analogous to what Amazon is doing with Amazon-sponsored product ads, where an ad will pop up when you search for an item. And you know, we think this business today is maybe $500 million to $1 billion, but it's only in 13 countries. They just actually rolled it out to 6 more, so that's including 6 recently rolled out to. It's not in China yet. We're not seeing very high ad load, so you only get 1 ad when you do a search, whereas on Google or Amazon you might get 4 or 5. So the potential for this business to really inflect is significant. And again, it's a very high margin business.
Hey, Tony, it's Josh Brown. I read your note. I agreed with some of it, but I want to ask you about the portion where I'm not so sure. You did point out that this is probably incremental in terms of overall the Apple story. So nobody should have a radically different opinion on the stock based on this. And where I differ with you is, you know, Amazon is an e-commerce platform. People go there with the intention to buy something or research something that they want to buy, and so they can have a higher ad load that Apple maybe can't bear. I'm not sure most people log into the App Store with the intention of I want to be marketed to, or maybe the App Store is the best chance to advertise, and when you go to Apple Music or another Apple service, you probably are going to have a lower tolerance as a consumer for a high ad load. Would you agree with that nuance?
Look, it's hard to say on ad load. I mean, now if you go to Amazon or Google, you literally have to scroll down an entire page before you get non-advertised based hits.
Right.
And Apple today is only 1. So it's certainly possible that you could do more ads. And moreover, what Apple doesn't do is once you've done your search and you go to the next page, there's no advertising. And that also occurs at Amazon and Google. So there certainly may not be the potential for the same ad load going forward, but Apple's is so low relative to what we're seeing elsewhere that we certainly think there's a potential for increased ad load.
Hey, Tony, it's Jim Lebenthal. I'm interested in this note as well. Look, when I read it, I thought to myself, doesn't this bring Apple, and I'm thinking about Tim Cook, who was kind of haughty over the summer about we don't sell clients' data, doesn't it bring them squarely into that arena where they would at least be tempted and maybe even execute on selling client data? Does that even matter?
So great question, and I think Apple's privacy stance has really been a limitation in its efforts to advertise. And obviously, targeted advertising is worth much, much more than general advertising. So Apple, I think, will continue to try and do both, preserve privacy. And the ads are really based on very limited data. They're based on, you know, whether you're on an iPhone or an iPad. They're based on your geographic location and age and gender, and that's it.